everybody, welcome to the Pagan Perspective. My name is Angel and I'm your Wednesday host, and this week we're talking about labels, specifically soft polytheism. Okay, I'm going to read two parts of this question, and I'll put the full question down below, but the last part of it is more of a definition of the question itself. So I'm going to read you the two parts that I have thought about and what I feel like I can answer to. Okay, so the question, well, the prelude to the question is, I recently read online an online post in which the author felt that too many Neopagans use inaccurate labels for their paths. So let me start with that. I have an issue with labels. I understand the purpose of labels. I get it. I have to label myself. We all have to label ourselves because that's how people have a quick little snapshot of who we are, you know. So it's a shorthand. I get it. We have to have labels, and as humans we need to have little boxes with everybody in it. However, I really have an issue with two things about the first of all, singling out Neopagans. Neopagans are inaccurately labeling themselves. Why is it Neopagans? So I have an issue with that, but I also have an issue with critiquing or correcting how somebody labels themselves. That's really not our right. And what we're doing is saying, okay, this term in the Webster Dictionary and this word and this description of what this word is, these people have read and all agreed that this is what it means. But these people have read over here that it means something different to them. But these people are right, and these people are wrong. And I don't understand that. That doesn't really make sense to me. If somebody wants to call themselves a label, and they've read the description, and to them it means blah blah blah, and that's what they call themselves, just because it doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't matter. It's not hurting anybody to let them call what they feel defines them. So I have an issue with us trying to critique people's labels. I don't think that there is an inaccurate. Just like in this path, as long as your intentions are pure and you're not trying to hurt anybody or yourself, there's no wrong way of doing something. So there's that part. Now, it goes on to say, specifically this person claimed that soft polytheism does not make sense because people who see multiple gods as just different faces for one or two gods or a symbolic archetype are not truly polytheistic, because polytheistic is believing in or worshiping many gods, and mono or duo-theism. Or not mono or duo-theism, sorry. So here's my thoughts on mono and polytheisms. Again, I understand the labels. I understand the definitions. But in my mind and in my spirituality, there is monotheism and polytheism do not resonate with me. All is one and one is all. We all have divine in us. All the gods are a part of one thing, and one thing is a part of all of us. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you feel, people, animals, the planet, the universe, divine, all is one, one is all. So I think using polytheism and monotheism is a way for humans to box things up, but those boxes fit in a big box. And that big box is just a part of those little boxes, as a little box as big as a part of the big box. So it doesn't make sense to me, the monopolytheism. But for the purpose of this, let's look at the obstacle of critiquing somebody who calls himself a mono or a polytheistic person. Let's take the Morgan, for instance, okay? The Morgan is, like I've said before, a deliciously complicated goddess. Now, You can look at the Morgan as a monotheistic person and go, I believe in the Morgan. Just the Morgan. She is this goddess, she's the Morgan. But then you have these polytheistic people over here going, wait a minute. The Morgan is made up of 3 goddesses, or 3 facets, or 3 aspects of one goddess. So that's more than one, that's going to be poly. And the monotheistic person's like, no, those are just Morgan as she appeared to these people. But it's still the Morgan. And then the polytheistic people go, no, they're different goddesses. Or they're different aspects. But it's one goddess. So you could go back and forth all day with that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because if you define yourself as a monotheistic person, if you want to label yourself as that, and you believe in just the goddess, you're not wrong. And if you are polytheistic, or follow polytheism, and you want to define yourself as that, and believe that the Morgan is many aspects and many goddesses within one goddess, you're not wrong either. But what does it matter, is what I'm saying. It doesn't. You're both right, or you're both wrong. Whatever the case is, it's not going to hurt you to allow other people to call themselves what they determine to call themselves. So, yeah, the mono and the polytheistic thing, it doesn't resonate with me. Yes, I believe in multiple gods, but I believe that multiple gods and goddesses are a part of one thing. We're all a part of one thing, but we're all different aspects and different parts of one thing. But then it's like, what comes first? So now you're trying to break it down to fit in what makes you comfortable to believe. So just let people call themselves what they want. And I really don't have anything other than that, other than to say that I think that, you know, we just really need to be careful of labels and understand, we need to really understand that labels should be fluid and transferable or connectable, because I might be an eclectic pagan witch, but I'm also a wife and a sister and an auntie and a motorcycle rider, and I'm also an environmentalist and an animal activist, and I'm so many things. So those all have to connect. Those are all part of me. Anyways, that's it. I could ramble on forever, but I think you get the point. Let's just not label. Let's let people call themselves what they want. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's not inaccurate. They've probably done the research. Pagans are avid readers and study. So instead of assuming that they don't fit into what we believe the label should be, let's assume they have defined it, the path themselves, and let them call themselves what they want. Anyways, that's my opinion on the subject. If you guys have any questions or concerns, please leave them down below. I know sometimes my beliefs are a little bit abstract, so if you need anything defined, I'm happy to do that. And until next week, everybody, have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next time. Blessed be. Bye!